Araprodokins. How you spell that, Eleanor? I mean, how you pronounce that?
I don't have a clue.
Okay. Well, I just call them sayings.
Okay.
One of them is this: where there is a will, I want to be in it. Said, the last thing I want to do is hurt you, but it's still on my list. Since light travels faster than sound, some people appear bright until you hear them speak.
Right.
Well, you know, my dad, in April, you've eaten up everything in the smokehouse, and the garden, you haven't gotten your fresh vegetables and everything. You got everything in the ground and planted. So it was kind of an interesting period from April and May. So here again, we all stayed in this one house. So my cousin came and said, we just had a little piece of shoulder left. You know, they cut all the meat off of it, and mother would cook, and my grandmother would cook these black-eyed peas, and they put the meat in there.
Mm.
And they let you bite a little piece of it off until about the third day, the meat got so tough, you can't bite it. So my cousin said, go tell Chester we can't bite that meat anymore. So I said, okay, I went and asked him. And I guess he had anticipated this. So we all sat down, so he took this pot of peas and he stirred it up. And he said, y'all think that meat is tough? So try biting on this nail. I think everyone knows the executive director, is that the correct title? The
Superintendent.
President of the Kansas State School for the Blind and Deaf. This is Madeline Birkendine.
Hi. Thank you for including me. I thought it was at 6 though.
Oh, okay. Our Clifford just handed me some of this HNMA Northeast Midtown Holiday Parties will be Friday, December 16th, at 6 to 9 p.m. at Nefertiti's Restaurant and Banquet Hall. The tickets are $10. And this is the chili supper that they have every year. So we certainly want to participate in this and support HNMA. So you want to make some comments about this, Eleanor?
Oh, just this year we're doing something a little different. And at first we didn't think we would have a chili cook-off, but so many people were asking about it. And then we were fortunate to be the recipient of a grant from the Healthcare Foundation, which is not always easy to get. So we were very honored by that. And that's when, because I didn't know, I asked my daughter, and she said, oh, most certainly we need to hold a fundraiser, because that's what we said in the application. And so when you get these grants, you have to go back and make your report, and everything has to be the way it's supposed to be. And you definitely want to be able to go back again. So this year, to make it a neighborhood fundraiser, not only for HNMA, but then also for the neighborhoods, we're saying that for every $10 at a neighborhood or a nonprofit organization, you don't have to be a 501c3, it's registered with the state as a nonprofit. For every $100 or 10 tickets, that organization earns $25. And they're able to keep that. And then if you have crafts, some people are craftsy, or they're selling something, or the neighborhood group itself may want to have a silent auction. Maybe there's an item that you're wanting to sell or thinking about doing that next year. This is certainly an opportunity to do that. So that's the thrust of it this year, from 6 to 9. And we have a DJ, it's part of the millennial generation. We hear a lot about the millennials. I'm beginning to not understand them, but know them a little bit. Who these millennials are. And so we'll have a couple of millennials who will be our DJ. So if you're able to, please come. It's the very best deal in town we get is at Nefertiti's. And former Commissioner Barnes has just been wonderful over the last 5 years, and reaching out and allowing us to have it there for hardly anything. Thank you very much.
I hope that some of us see fit to purchase some of the tickets for HNMA. It is the organization that represents basically all of the neighborhood groups in the Northeast area. And it's a difficult time it's a difficult thing to bring us all together. and they've done a very, very good job. We were the last group to have a neighborhood, an NBR, neighborhood revitalization, and Eleanor was the one who instigated it and has it on the way. So we need to support HNMA, all the neighborhood groups. So hopefully that if you see fits, the tickets are $10 a piece. Normally we've kind of done something every year, so we plan to do the same thing this year. So the tickets are available if you're interested.
I received the email yesterday. I've already told some people this, and it said Christmas is canceled. Apparently you told Santa that you have been good this year. He died laughing. My Christmas experience, I guess I was about 6, 7 years old, and well, my parents, they always bought us clothes for Christmas. You know, they didn't buy a lot of toys. This Christmas, I got a cap gun. You had little caps you put in, pow, pow. But my little friend next door, he had 2 cap guns with holsters and everything, and I was feeling sorry for myself. So I really talked to my dad, and my dad said, well, he said, look at it like this, son. He said, some kids are not getting anything for Christmas. So that really changed my mind about Christmas. To me, Christmas is not a time to receive, it's a time to give. It's true.
I had forgotten about those little paper caps and stuff. I remember that. Yeah, wow.
The paper caps.
Yeah.
Well, we got the paper cap, we didn't have no pistols, so we take the paper cap and take a brick and. Yeah, they have to have cap though.
I can just smell whatever that is right now.
Yes. Well, some more sayings that we never really grow up. We only learn how to act in public. That war does not determine who is right, only who is left. The news, they began the evening news with good evening, then proceed to tell you why it isn't. Said, I thought I wanted a career. Turns out I just wanted a paycheck. Said in filling out an application where it says, in case of emergency notify, I put doctor. Just some interesting comments. Commissioner, you want to give us some good news?
From unified government?
Yes.
I will. First of all, I want
All right.
to say thank you all for the invitation to come tonight. It's really a privilege to be here. And just the fact that Strugglers Hill is just such a beacon of hope in our community. I'm excited about 2017. We're going to be commencing work on our Northeast Master Plan, which is something I've been talking about for the past 12 months. We actually got it built into the budget, and it's going to be require a lot of your input, a lot of your time and thought in terms of how we think about what the Northeast, what we want the Northeast to look like going into the future. You know, Mr. Owens has already paved the way in many regards with the work that he's done. And Mr. Jefferson, Mrs. Lee, there's so many pioneers and elders that are here that have already kind of laid the foundation for us. I think that, I do think it's the time. And there's a shift in the sense that we need to see something done in Northeast. And I'm hearing that from more than one person. And so with that, we'll be commencing that work. We were able to get a collaborative effort between myself, Commissioner Gail Townsend, and Commissioner Melissa Bynum to come together and petition the city and our fellow commissioners, and with unanimous vote, they said we want to do this. So I'm excited. I am very much excited about the start of that. It'll probably take me the rest of my term to see the real fruit of it, and maybe even beyond that. But when you talk about change and you talk about things that we work for, sometimes it takes us an entire lifetime before we see the kind of change that we see in our vision, in our mind. So with that, I look forward to sharing news with you all periodically. I hope that there will be some time when you all will be coming together as well with us to kind of give us insight and directive. But I'm really excited about 2017. And for me, I'm personally taking a message of hope. We know that there's a lot of things good about our county. There's a lot of things that are not so good. But I'm just holding on to hope because hope rings eternal, and I do believe that good things are around the corner for us. So thank you again for the invitation and allowing me to have this space tonight.
So when did your term over?
2019. Depends on how the plan goes.
Okay, I just been threatened. This is our neighbor that moved, and we just, when I walk out my side door, I look over there and say, please come back. This is the only lady that I knew that could see through houses. I lived around the corner of 12th and Washington Boulevard. Norman Justice lived at 1206 Everett. Now, if you're familiar, you got to look through the house at 1200 Everett. You got to look at the house at 1200 1201 Everett. Norman called me one day and said, would you believe that I'm sitting on the front porch, and Ida called me and said, what are you doing sitting on the front porch reading the newspaper? She could see through two houses. and our representative, I hope will be here soon, but she can tell you, I used to sit on our front porch. And she'd call up and say, I say, you just got home. Valdina lived in the 1000 block of Washington Boulevard. She saw everything, but I was saying this earlier before the meeting started. I didn't understand that why, it's a good neighbor. She was a nosy old neighbor, and which is good. I got a call about 1:30 one morning and said, Chester, somebody's breaking in the house next door to you. I'm going to 1:30. I of course grabbed the phone, and sure enough, she was sitting on the front porch, and she had seen someone breaking in the side. So everybody, we felt safe, because if anything happened in the area, Ida would see it. So and she and husband Butch, we missed both of them here, because if Butch is here, he'd be out here dancing, doing something. Yeah, so Miss Ida and she just threatened me though. I'm not gonna. She told me that I couldn't even tell y'all why she threatened me.
Just know it's a threat.
That was Rosalind Welch that just called me. She couldn't make it today. She's not feeling too well. But she said, please bring her a plate.
All right.
And I assured her that we would.
Nobody else got a Christmas story to tell? Come on, Wendell.
You know he's got one. Miss Phyllis.
I can share a Christmas story.
Okay.
I can remember, I think I must have been around 8, there were 4 of us at the time. And we just remember getting up on Christmas morning, and we were so excited, as most children are. And we were looking for the Christmas gifts, and everybody seemed to have a gift with me. I didn't see anything with my name on it. And so they were opening up their gifts, and I'm just sitting there wondering, why didn't I get one? But I do remember when my mom came in the room, she looked over and she said, well, why didn't you get your gift? I said, I didn't get one. She said, there it is. It was a chalkboard that was about this big. And it had the chalk and the erasers and everything, and I was so happy. I couldn't have gotten a better gift. Because even at a young age, my mom was telling me that she could see that I was going to be a school teacher. And I would teach my little dolls, like line them all up, and just teach my dolls and so forth. And when I got that chalkboard, that was just all I needed. And even as I look back on it, I think that was just something
you know, that my mother saw in me, and it actually came to pass. So the feeling of not having anything and not understanding why was really, that was kind of hurtful. Never said a word to anybody or anything. They didn't say, where's yours or anything. And then when she came out and showed it to me, that's all I needed.
Oh, that's a great story.
So you became a teacher.
I did.
Ms. Bergendown, anything you'd like to tell us about what's going on with the state? I read something in the paper, I was intending to cut it out, about a month ago. It was positive, it wasn't negative.
What was it about? You don't remember?
I don't remember what it was about.
I think the main thing is that we are transforming over time, and it's kind of hard to explain, but we're becoming a program school which designs programs and is kind of the expert in the field of visual impairment. We're not so concerned with the number of students at any one time here, but we're going out all the time to districts across the state because there's no university program teaching teachers to work with students who are blind. There's nobody at the State Department who is licensed in working with students who are blind. So we're kind of it. And for a while, we were trying to help districts in the eastern third of the state and teaching their students who are blind. Well, all that did, then they didn't go out and look and try to arrange for their teachers